Welcome back. More on the bumpers. The car, was delivered in the United States, so it had the huge, what we call North American bumpers that I've been slowly whittling away at. And last time I had removed some of the outer rebar, but this time I removed the rest of the outer rebar, and that leaves only this inner piece, much more refined looking. So the skin snaps into these holes. But this is much, just looks better. And it's 16 pounds lighter. As an added benefit. And I'm doing the same thing on the front. So here's the front bumper on the front end during reassembly. So here's the rebar the way it is now. So same as the rear, there was a whole other 11 gauge section welded to the outside of this that made it huge. There's really no reason for it. So before I finished reassembling the front, I thought I would do a how I did it. So a Scirocco, normally the front end is pretty bulky and it's part of the unibody. One of the basic philosophies of this car was to take advantage of the packaging the way Audi did it. So in this case, the front end is a veneer that completely comes off to get the engine out by pulling it out the front with the center prop shaft. The other advantage is the entire front, because there's no structure, is available for cooling. So the plastic air dam, the way I have it, does not project above this tube. So the intercooler and most of the radiator and the other intercooler are available for cooling. And because the front structure of the car is missing the way it was on the original Mark 1, the hood closure stresses are transferred vertically down into the bumper. There's a bolt there and a bolt there. And then one of the things I never liked about the Mark 1 Scirocco S is the ABS plastic air dam was just sheet metal screwed. It was mounted with sheet metal screws to the front unibody. And I've never heard of one coming off at speed, but I always felt that was kind of cheesy, that the thing could basically, it's thin ABS plastic with a lot of air hitting it. I always wondered what would happen if one tore off on the expressway and you ran it over. Would you lose control of the car? So I never really liked that. So for this car, this frame, this tube frame holds the air dam. The air dam's bolted to the side of the fender like a normal Scirocco. So the hole's there. And then it fits snugly on this tubing, and then there's two screws. One there and one on the other side. It's very, very solid. And then the radiator is held with these brackets here. This is a bracket that has two exhaust hangers. One there, and there's one behind the headlight bracket. Same thing on the other side. There's the one exhaust hanger and there's another one up there. And the radiator is flex mounted, so it can move and wobble and find a comfort zone, so it's not stressed by the by being firmly mounted. I don't want it to leak. So the car's theoretically drivable like this. I just have to put the grille and the bumpers, the plastic bumper skin, and then the air dam back on. But anyways, I know there's a lot of ways to convert these cars to four-wheel drive. To me, this was the most, I don't know, cost-effective way of doing it. So I'm going to get the rest of this together and then take it out for a ride. Oh, one thing I wanted to show, I forgot on the video. The other thing that's a little cheesy about a Mk1 Scirocco S is the fender here. It's not really firmly mounted to anything, and nor is the air dam. So the entire area is flexible, and the air dam is prone to cracking even from something like scrubbing the car while you're washing it too hard and flexing it and then cracking the air dam on the corner. And even if you don't break anything, it's just kind of, I don't think it should flex. So on this one, this tube frame, by the way, this is not painted because it's pharmaceutical grade stainless, but this bar here doesn't just go up to the fender, it goes all the way up. It goes all the way up and ties into the frame rail right here. So it's very firm. Sorry for the bad camera. I'm laying on the ground here. But this is very rigid, and when I bolt the air dam, it ties the fender into this also. So it's very firm. I think that's how they should have done it from the get-go, but well, better late than never. Anyways, maybe I'll drive it around like this a little bit before putting it together. I think this looks kind of cool.